for going on 4.5 years. When we first moved in, I actually filmed an empty house tour, and for some reason, I had never put it up. So I thought now is the time to show you guys where we live. We live in a townhouse unit, so we only have windows on the front and the back of the house, which makes it a bit of a dungeon. So when you walk into our foyer, I've actually put up a large mirror, which really helps to bounce some of that light and lighten this area up. We have a boring cloak closet to your right, and behind the door we've put up some hooks because we were always just tossing our coats instead of putting them in there if we had to go in and out. So let's start with our kitchen. So for our kitchen, it is basically just a big square, which is nice because you have a lot of movement versus like a galleyway kitchen, but we don't have a lot of counter space. So luckily for us, we actually inherited this island from the previous tenant, cleaned it all up, and we got to utilize it for our Keurig, our soda stream, and along the walls we have a lot of teas and coffees. This makes it look like Scott's a coffee drinker. He is not in fact a coffee drinker, okay? And the rest of my teas are stashed away. And then we also, after a couple of years, built this unit for the microwave because when we first moved in, we had our mini fridge at the end of the island and this was sitting on top. And I needed it to get up and lift it up. So when we did that, we decided to add a shelf for cookbooks. I love buying Scott cookbooks. He doesn't really use them because he ends up Googling things or just kind of like whipping stuff up on the fly. But they're nice to look at. And then if you pivot around, this is the rest of our kitchen. One thing we had to get used to were these brown counters. Wasn't a fan, but now I just like don't notice them anymore. It looks like we have a lot of cabinetry, but they don't really hold a lot. And there's no room for a pantry in here, so about 3 of these are shoved full of pantry goods, and we even built a rolling cart pantry during the pandemic because I was losing my mind and it was something to do. And then along this counter, we have a shelf that my dad helped build just to prop up our knives, our air fryer. We didn't have the air fryer yet, or the mixer, but it helps to keep those up along with the cutting boards and the veggie bowl because our fruits can't live in the kitchen because of the window. So on our way into the living room and dining room, we have this whiteboard calendar, which I love. If we feel like meal prepping, or at least having an idea of what's going on during the week, we can put this on here. But we usually jinx ourselves the moment we write out the food we're gonna eat. We don't want it anymore. But it's been super handy. And then when you come on this way, you have our living room, dining room combination. So it is an open concept, and this area has gone through a few different incarnations over the last 4.5 years. And this is kind of our post-Christmas setup. Usually the bar is along the green wall, which you'll see in a minute. And this year we decided to put the table on an angle. First I wasn't very keen, and now I kind of love it. But last year for Christmas we did not have this blue unit. If you guys have been longtime viewers, you'll know that I used to have 2 really long shelves along the wall that had all of our glassware. But a year ago or so, when our best friends moved, we kind of picked this piece up from them and stored all of our glassware in it. And I absolutely love it. It does make it a little bit tight in this corner with the mini fridge, but we don't use it all that often. It's kind of just the beverage fridge. We've got our popcorn maker that my dad got us for Christmas a couple of years ago, and our fruit bowl. And if I spin you around, this is where the bar typically lives. And I did this green wall, I think 2 Christmases ago, and I absolutely love it. Also like having a clock so I know what time it is. And then into the living room, we have this really nice, large, sectional couch that actually pulls out as a sofa bed. 99% of the time it is pulled out because that is my spot for looking at the projector. Scott likes to cozy himself up in the corner. This sofa came with an ottoman, which we have all of our games in there, all our card games, our board games, and it's just great. We don't have to see it. Now we do have 2 Billy bookcases, but right now I am redoing how I want the books, so that's why they are currently empty. We have a lac coffee table, which we salvaged, which is great. And then this blue chair, funny story, when we first moved in, this came from Scott's grandmother's and I was not having it. It's actually the comfiest chair ever and I would never give it back. And now we have our projector screen and our projector. When we first moved in, the projector was literally the first purchase that we made. We sat on the floor here, Scott's like boom, 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 we ordered it, and we've never looked back. So we actually had this unit made for us for Christmas, I think that Christmas. It nests perfectly in, stores all the different consoles, everything else that we need for our sound system. But the screen is a recent purchase, so we've only had it for a couple of months now, and it does make a world of difference, even though I argued it wouldn't for years. But we finally caved, and it fits perfectly, and I love it. And then tucked in this corner behind our speakers, I have some yoga stuff for when I think that I'm going to be athletic. Let's go upstairs. Alright, now that we're upstairs, you guys can get a better look at the gallery wall. We originally were going to put this above the couch, and I had it all laid out. I did the craft paper hack and everything, and then all of a sudden we're like, let's do it on the stairs. It's been hanging for over a year, and there's only 4 images in these frames that are actually ours, or that I've made. So we've got some stock footage from Canadian Tire, some stock footage from Umbra, and along these walls we have Scott and I's degrees. So when you first come up the stairs, we have 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. This is only a 1-bathroom unit. Alright, so when you get to the top of the stairs, the first room is Scott's office. Scott works from home. Nice stand-up desk, which we really, really love. He's got a lot of bits and bobs. Not even gonna go there. But this is the smaller of the 3 bedrooms, and he kind of flip-flops where he is throughout the year because of the weather and the sun. And then we have my office, which you guys have seen a lot. And one thing that you may not have seen much of is the fact that I've painted this wall. This is the kind of center color of my accent wall, and it just makes me so happy. But I rearranged things recently, moved that unit, moved my mirror, and then over here we have, my jewelry, my craft and paper storage, my fold-out table, along with my Cricut, which is down in a nice new case. And I will share the closet for another time. And coming this way, we can go into the washroom. Bathroom is a bathroom. This is our little humble abode. Do I wish it could be bigger? Yes. But I store a lot of my makeup and stuff in my office, so I don't need to worry about storing a lot of my hair stuff. That stuff all gets to live in our linen closet, which has seen better times, but is still pretty organized. We've got a lot of things in bins, which makes it easy for me to find, and really, I'm the only one who uses it anyways. Let's head on to the primary bedroom. This is our humble abode. We have a king size, and I will never in my life go back to anything smaller than a king size bed. We still fight over it, but we'll make it work. The bench that I'm sitting on is actually a bench from our dining table. And because we already have the 4 chairs down there, we don't have that many people over. We brought it up to the bedroom so it can be another place for us to throw clothes, if we're honest. So when Scott and I first moved in, we actually both, hilariously enough, had almost identical bedside tables, whether we inherited them from whoever, but they have the one drawer, the big open cave underneath of it, and we have our Google on this side, and I have a couple books on the diffuser on that side. Now the one beautiful thing about this room is the double closets. This is my side of the closet, which has a lot. I have all of my pants, jeans and sweatpants up top, dresses, shirts, blazers, other skirts, and then this calyx unit, which is filled with basically everything else. And there's some storage along the top there, which we're not going to go into. And then on Scott's side, we had changed up a few times. I finally convinced him he too needed a calyx unit, but he wouldn't let me get any buckets for his. So, this has also been redone a couple of times. But Scott just purged his closet. Kudos for him. I cannot say the same. And we've got some of his tops, and then we've got basically all t-shirts, sweaters, pants, and swim trunks. And then he's got a few things up here, including socks. But that is his side. So Scott and I inserted a light not too long ago that worked great at first, now not so much. But I'm going to show you how bright the closet can become. And this was so that I wouldn't have to wake him up with our bedroom light. So with our current setup, when we put the fan in, the light aspect doesn't work, which is why we have a standing lamp in here. But traditionally, that would be the only light we'd have in here. And made it really difficult to see in the closet. All right, let's head back downstairs. All right, that is our home, and that is your cue to leave. Have a good one. I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya!